Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we are going to be discussing how you could potentially obtain three, I guess if you're really lucky, three of the rarest and most desirable premium ships in-game by simply playing the game. Now, what are these three ships? Well, first off, they are giving away the Georgia, the Tier 9 Premium American Battleship. This is the Proto-Iowa design with the 6 457mm guns, the improved American secondary guns, along with the engine boost. The legendary battleship that can run down most destroyers without breaking a sweat. They're also giving away the Enterprise, the Tier 8 Premium American CV. The CV that used to dominate RTS CVs back in the day and was also incredibly busted with the first CV rework. It is still now today a most capable carrier in today's World of Warships. Definitely not what she used to be, but so many players want her for her historical background alone, let alone, again, her in-game prowess. And then finally, they're also giving away the Kutuzov, the Tier 8 Premium Soviet Light Cruiser. We were talking about the Kutuzov in Monday's video, in fact. She's the OG stealth-firing abuser from back in the day. Now she's a long-range smoke farmer with, the comfy Soviet ballistic shells and such. Can burn you down from a maximum range with absolutely no problem. So they're giving away these three ships. There's a little bit more to this besides the fact that they're giving this away. This says a lot, in my humble opinion. We'll get into that and more in today's video. So, how can you obtain these ships? Well, if you have been living under an rock, the devs have been oh so hard at work trying to balance everybody's, probably everybody's second favorite class in game right now, CVs. And if you recall, again, if you've been living under a rock, or if you recall, they have been trying out a new set of CV changes that I like to call the CV ReRework. Because we already had the CV rework with update 8.0, taking us out of RTS CVs into our modern day CV mechanics. And now they are further tweaking the mechanics yet again with the CV rework. So, last time they did one of these rounds of testing, they actually gave away the Enterprise and the Musashi. Only two ships back then, though, and I think they only gave away like three of each back then. All you had to do was download the test server, play some rounds in the test server, and you were automatically entered into the raffle to potentially win one of those two ships. And that's what they're doing this time with this current round of testing for the CV rework. Today, the day that this video goes up, you can download the test server and hop into a match and try out the new CV mechanics yourself. And by hopping into battle and trying out these new mechanics, you are automatically entered into a raffle to potentially win one of these three ships. Well, in fact, 5 of these 3 ships, because they're giving away 5 Georgias, 5 Enterprises, and 5 Kutuzovs. Now, I might be saying, Sealord, well, thanks a whole lot. 15 players will get these ships. Yes, 15 players will get these ships. It could potentially be you. The odds could potentially be in your favor, right? I mean, someone's got to win the lottery, right? But while yes, that's the main title of this video, and that's, the attention grabber in the title, that's only part of what I'd like to talk about in regards to the ships, so stick around for a couple of minutes for the second part of my thought process. But if you just want to know how you can potentially get these ships, well, unlike last time where you just had to play, I think it was just like 10 battles and you're automatically entered into the raffle, it's similar but with a twist here. So to get the Georgia, you have to play 10 battles of destroyers, cruisers, or battleships in random battles, which is of course the primary mode where they're trying out these new CV mechanic changes, which is probably what tomorrow's video will be about. Then for the Enterprise, you have to play 10 random battles playing aircraft carriers. Makes sense. And then 10 random battles playing any ship to enter into the raffle for the Kutuzov. So, I'm assuming, of course, if you played 10 battles in any ship, 10 battles in CVs, and then 10 battles in destroyers, cruisers, or battleships, you automatically be entered into each of the ship's drawings. Now, why is this notable? Well, like I said at the start of this video, these are quite literally some of the single most desirable premium ships in the game. And they're giving away 3 of them this time. Now, sure, they gave away 2 with the Musashi and the Enterprise on the first round of test, but now they've upped it to a 3rd ship, which, again, has 5 of those ships to be given away. This says that Wargaming wants players playing this mode, or this round of testing. They're giving away these ships for free. You don't have to spend a dime on the test server to get entered into the raffle for these ships. You just have to play at a maximum 30 battles over the time that the test server is up, which will be up from today, March 26th, through April 2nd. That's more than enough time to get in your battles to potentially win one of these ships. Wargaming does not do that normally, giving away, again, ships that players spend thousands of dollars trying to obtain at the end of the year in the Santa Container event. With the Enterprise and the Georgia for sure. I'm not sure if anyone's dropping that much money into the Kutuzov nowadays, but I know for sure Georgia and Enterprise players are foaming at the mouths trying to get these ships. So they're taking, again, some of the most desirable ships and putting them in this mode as a giveaway for simply playing. So they want you to play this mode because they want your feedback. They want you to get in there, they want you to try out the new mechanics and see what your reaction is to it. Why? Well, because they're trying to fix one of the most problematic classes in game for the past ever, seemingly, right? And a lot of times, we hear that Wargaming doesn't care about you, they don't care about your feedback, this, that, and so forth and so on. But here, this to me says that they want you to play it, they want you to find what's wrong with it, they want you to break stuff in it, they want your feedback. Because they're giving away, again, potentially thousands of dollars worth of premium ships here. If we're talking about what these ships normally go for at the end of the year with the Santa Container, they what players normally drop on them. So that's pretty significant in my mind. It's a big, big, big change from the first round of CV testing back with 8.0. If you have been playing this game long enough, we got, a round of testing, I think, with 8.0 CVs, and we certainly didn't get, I think it was actually 2 rounds, and they were like back to back, and that's all we got, and they just shoved it through. And if you were playing World of Warships post 8.0 until I think 8.4, 8.5, they kind of stabilized it a little bit, but post 8.0 World of Warships was a nightmare. CVs were incredibly, absolutely busted one hot patch. Then the next hot patch, they were nerfed. But then the next one, it was nuts. It just kept swinging back and forth between being absolutely outright busted and CVs being a minor afterthought. But here, they've taken their time between the 2 rounds of testing. They are genuinely trying to address what we've been complaining about. This round of testing has essentially removed plane spotting from the fighters, from the catapult fighters, from pretty much everything except for, I believe, the spotting aircraft. The one you toss up to extend your range, because it is quite literally a spotter. But from the the plane drop fighters, the ship fighters, and all that jazz, that's all gone now. And the spotting capability of the player-controlled aircraft has also been nerfed quite a bit already. And again, we'll go over the finer details of the change in tomorrow's video. But if you go through and just peruse through the article, which I've linked in the description down below, the devs are genuinely trying to address things that we've been saying for a long time. Now, it does feel like, of course, it's taken them forever to get to it because, it has. But again, these are things that we have all been asking for a long time. They're finally getting around to it, and they're trying to get as many players into the test server to try it out so they can get more feedback and finer tune things with what we think. So that's big, in my opinion. And I encourage you to go and play this mode. Now, you might be saying, well, Stu, why do I want to go play on this test server? I don't get anything out of it. Well, You actually do, even if you don't get a Georgian Enterprise or a Kutuzov, you're not one of the 15 lucky people. If you play a single battle on the CST server, which is the server that they're playing this on, you will get 3,000 coal just for playing a single battle. You play 6 battles, you get to receive 1,000 doubloons. You play 11 battles, you'll get another 1,000 doubloons for just playing a grand total of 11 battles. You get 2,000 doubloons, and you get 3,000 coal. That's pretty good in my mind. I mean, again, 11 battles, 2,000 dubs, 3,000 coal. That's pretty good for just 11 battles, and you can go hop up back on over to the live server. 10 seems to be the magic number that they want you to try out on the server, at least. To, try everything, see how the mechanics are going and such, and, get a chance to get a good impression of the rework. I would encourage you to play it more, that way you know what's coming down the line, because since this is the second round of them trying this out, I'm assuming that, this is probably a when and not if thing anymore at this point. So I would highly encourage you to check it out just so you can stay in the loop on what's potentially coming in the future of the game. But if all else, get a free 2,000 doubloons and free 3,000 coal, and maybe get a Georgian Enterprise or a Kutuzov as well. So that is what was on my mind with today's news article, actually yesterday's news article. And again, I think Wargaming is genuinely trying here. And if they're genuinely trying, I believe, if they're going to, this seems like if they're going to listen to the player base and the feedback, this seems to be the time, and this seems to be the place to do it with this upcoming CV rework. Now, looking like it's coming out on the horizon. Of course, we don't know anything about when it would potentially make its way into the game. If you, hold a gun to my head, I would say probably by the end of the year. I don't know for sure. No one from Wargaming's told me that, but just looking at how other reworks and new additions have been added into the game, that's what I would probably ballpark it at this moment. Of course, that could totally be wrong. That's just my guess. Again, I don't know anything one way or another in terms of when this would potentially be finding its way onto the live server. So guys, that is what I got for you today. Again, tomorrow we'll be taking a look at the CV ReRework version 2.0. We'll have some gameplay footage to go over and talk about for that, so stay tuned for that video tomorrow. Hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.